So for that problem with estimating how many days are off, on average, these employees took sick days or personal time or whatever it was, CTE time, um, CTO time, days off. Anyways, we don't know. All they told us was that there was between 1 and 2 days. There were 9 people that had those number of days. Now, what were those numbers? We don't know. We aren't told. For example, here's a set of nine numbers that would fall into that bin of 1 to 2 days, and so that I guess that there were 4 1s and 5 2s, and that's where they got the 9 from. Now, I could do that the same thing with 3 to 4 days off and have 22 numbers. So what if there were 3 people that took 3 days off and the other 19 people took 4 days off? We don't know. We don't know what's there. We only know the total of 22. So what we say is, since we don't know the data, we're going to estimate how many days people took off. And one thing we don't want to have to do is have 88 days, list out 88 days and add up all those 88 days, right? I know there's 88 days, so that's how many, what the frequency is. Add up and then divide those by 88. Number one, we don't have the data, and number two, what a pain. So what we do is we use the midpoint as an estimate of how many days, I mean, how many ones and how many twos. So we say we add to find the midpoint of the bin. We take the lower bound, upper bound, add them together, and divide by 2. And so on average is 1.5 days. And there's going to be 9 of them. So instead of knowing the individual days, we estimate that 1.5 days and we're going to multiply it by 9 instead of having the 9 numbers. Do the same thing for 3 to 4. We do, 3 plus 4 is 7, divided by 2 is 3.5. 5 plus 6 is 11, divided by 2 is 5.5, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then so I listed those midpoints. I copied down the frequencies. And then we're going to say, because we're guessing there's 9 1.5 days off, so we're going to multiply those and get the 13.5. And 3.5 times 22 is 77 days total, and that for that bin. And 5.5 times 2.8 is that number, and so on and so forth. So these are my estimates of the total number of days off in each bin. So we add up those numbers. So we got 88. What represents here, this represents 9 numbers that are 1.5. This represents 22 numbers that are 3.5 days off, and so on. So we add those up. So we're saying on these employees, we're estimating took a total of 490 days off, and there's 88 employees. So to estimate the mean, we took that 490 divided by 88. And I got about 5.5, a little more than 5.5 days off on average. Okay. And that's what we do with this group data that we don't know the actual data for. We make this estimate of it. And we can go on and do the standard deviation and look for outliers and medians and all that, but that isn't what this question is asking. I hope this helps.